Welcome to Billionaire Cheat Codes, and this is the Tachyon journey by myself, Elie. So you're here today because you're an entrepreneur, or you want to be one, in terms of you want to escape the trap you live in with regards to working a job, spending your time for money, or you're already an entrepreneur and maybe you're stuck at a certain revenue level in your business. You want to break through and reach a life of true freedom because as an entrepreneur, you have quickly realized that life isn't what you see on Instagram. It isn't full of fast cars, luxury holidays and mansions. You actually have to work, and you have to work hard, probably even harder than a job. You're spending hours a day working on your business. Along this journey, you've realized the importance of working on yourself though. You've come to terms with the fact that success in any part of your life is more about the inner game as opposed to the outer game. If you have got to your first six figures, or maybe you're not there yet, maybe you've got beyond that and you've already achieved 7+ figures. You're here because you've come to terms with the fact that along this journey you've encountered blocks or limits that are stopping you from reaching the next level. I know for me, when I first started and got to my first six figures, after countless failures, losing over £250,000 of investors and family money on failed property deals, I finally made my first 100k. So how did I do that? Yes, I had the right mentor, and yes, it was a struggle. I was listening to all these gurus on YouTube, etc., telling me I need to wake up early, I need to read, I need to meditate, etc., etc. And when I didn't, I felt guilty. And it worked. So after doing all this stuff, working 15-hour days, I reached some sort of success. But what had I achieved? Yes, I achieved income. I was making up to 50k a month, but I was empty. This success has not brought me fulfillment, the fulfillment that I wanted. Why? Because all I had done was build myself a new ego. I had created another aspect of myself by doing all these daily habits, but I still had deep emptiness that no amount of money could fill. I was doing all this stuff thinking I was happy deep down, and I wasn't. I'm sure you've heard of all these hacks where you reprogram your subconscious mind because it's what's going to make you a success. But what is success without freedom? If I had to wake up early every day at a certain time, eat at a certain time, go to sleep at a certain time, go to the toilet at a certain time, I'm joking about that, but seriously, that is not success. That is a prison I created for myself and thought I was free, but I was still a prisoner. So if I stopped all these habits, I'd quickly go back to my old patterns and negative thoughts. This is the biggest lie the self-help and personal development industry are selling you. Why? Because when you take a course or a seminar and you start doing these things, you feel pretty good. And if you keep it up, you will get some results. But does that mean you're the best version of yourself? To me, I shouldn't have to try to be the best version of myself. It should be effortless. The idea of having to work hard to realize this best version has never sat well with me, and always knew there was something else but didn't know how to get there. Now I know what you're thinking. All these people who are preaching this stuff are successful, right? Okay, on the surface they have the money, the car, the house, and maybe you think when you get to that level you'll be happy and fulfilled. I'm here to tell you that that's not true. There's a much easier and quicker way to reach any form of success in your life. And it does not include working harder, learning new strategies for your business, or following the next mentor who says do it this way. The key is you need to learn how to follow yourself. And when I say yourself, I don't mean the self that you are now. That self that is full of thoughts and actions that you've picked up from your childhood or your parents or society. But the real you. Most people go through their lives and never know the real them. I mean that child who came into the world and wanted something and screamed and cried until they got it, before your parents and society told you that you shouldn't have it. And believe it or not, this is the side of you that knows exactly what they want and knows how to get it. It's just what you've been told and led to believe that is affecting your decisions and level of success as an adult. So everyone's there, guys. It's just removing the stuff. Take me, for example. I had such a deep desire to achieve in my life and never understood what it was due to. But as a child, the only time I would receive love was from my mother when I had achieved something. So I spent my whole life trying to achieve. Now imagine how this affected my day-to-day decisions. So if I don't keep up with the habits of meditating, reading, listening to positive videos, etc., all in an effort to distract me from how I really felt, I would have never gained any success. It's why success for me was so hard. I was constantly going against how I really felt about myself, and this is what most people are doing to try and live their life of their dreams. So you're basically just going against your own resistance, guys, and it's difficult. Now, what if I told you there was another way? There's a way to reach any level of success in your life. You want money, stuck at a certain level, this will allow you to reach any level with ease. You'll be working less and making more. Now I work only when I want, which is a couple hours a week, and I make 10 times more than I did when I was working 15 hours a day. You want to meet the love of your life? Maybe all you seem to attract is toxic relationships. This is all due to your childhood and things you believe. You can easily remove all these beliefs and get that. Any way you view success is achievable, and it's what your soul wants. All that is stopping you is your own beliefs. And no, the way is not to reprogram your mind, subconscious, unconscious, all of that rubbish. That thinking is keeping you still trapped in the mind and trapped in the ego, thinking that you can change it. What you need to realize is that your true self, which is you as a child, is so beyond ego, but it's forgotten completely. So the key is to reconnect with your true self, your limitless self, so that you can rediscover and in turn live a limitless life of success, happiness and fulfillment. So how do we do it? I know what you're thinking. How is this even possible? One word: Tachyon. I'm going to outline what happened in my Tachyon journey so you get a full flavor of what it is. But first I'm going to explain a few things about our world, energy and Tachyon so you get a better understanding. Right, now, I'm sure you've heard people say everything is energy. That is true inside our density. What I mean by that is, in our world, everything is energy. So physical, matter, thoughts, emotions, the tree outside, it's all made of energy. This energy is vibrating at different frequencies that form whatever it is inside our energetic field. Some people call it the quantum field. So what is happening is that people are telling you to do all this work on yourself, either mindset work, hypnosis, habits, anything, and they're all operating inside the energetic field. So our energetic field has laws, right? So I'm sure you've heard the law of gravity, or some have heard of the law of attraction. These are all laws inside our energetic field. There is another law relating to energy, and this is the law of the conservation of energy, which means that energy itself cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. But just because you transform energy doesn't mean it's changed. So say you want to transform a negative thought into a positive thought. The thought may be transformed on the surface and look different, but it still has the same energetic composition. For example, if you were to take a Toyota and change it to a Ferrari just by changing the body of it, it would still be a Toyota. The engine would be the same, the electrics, everything. This is what's happening with all the mindset and energy coaching and all that stuff you're learning, guys, and what they're teaching, because they can only operate inside these laws. So your beliefs temporarily change, but not permanently. They can easily be triggered by an event or just come back because that's their natural form, right? So you're changing an external, it's an external change of an internal event. So here's the universe of energy and quantum. So inside this bubble here is energy, mass, thoughts, emotions, basically physical existence operates inside this bubble. So this is our energetic field. Now Tachyon is something completely different. Tachyon is a particle that moves faster than the speed of light and was first discovered by Gerald Feinberg, a German scientist, in 1967, just to be confirmed by Einstein and Nikola Tesla. So anything inside our energetic field, the maximum it can move is the speed of light. That's the maximum speed it can move. So Tachyon is outside of that, so it moves much faster. So it's not governed by the speed of light and it's not governed by time. So it's far outside of our quantum and energetic field. It allows us to destroy all energy or matter and create new energy. The natural laws where tachyon exists are completely different. That's why we're able to play with it and achieve what we want. There's very little information about tachyon online, as it's very unfamiliar to the public. So as you can see, here we have the universe of energy and quantum again inside the bubble. Then we have a border, which is basically a field around our energetic field, not allowing us to get out of it. And then we have tachyon, which is outside of it. So as you can see, it's completely different. The laws are different. The energetic composition is completely different. And we basically harness this power, which is outside of our energetic field. So now, your Toyota, we can change it to a Rolls Royce if we like. The rules are completely different. Hence why we play at a completely different level to anyone else. We have an unfair advantage. This power also gives us access to download any information we want. We can learn new skills at will. It's like downloading information from a source that has a limitless supply of it. Here's just a bit of information. As you can see, on the second arrow, it's believed that Tesla first but not last to actually build a receiver that harnessed gravitational field energy, which is now understood to be direct derivative of tachyon energy. Just a bit of scientific background for you guys. Here's another article where it says it's possible that tachyon served as the connective element in the technologies. Tesla's converter could be used to power automobiles of all types. So Tesla basically harnessed this energy and created a vehicle which harnessed this energy. But as you can imagine, the elites and the powers above shut this down, because who is going to be profitable from something that runs on free energy? So the source is Tachyon energy, a new paradigm in healing, in holistic healing. So you can check that out if you want more background reading. So here's basically a few concepts of tachyon. So it contains all the potential of our known universe. It's the source of all energies. It's limitless, it's omnipresent, and it's beyond the speed of light. Just a few things there. So this is what you guys have basically been used to doing. On the left-hand side, you can see we're in our physical state, and people are going to energy to try and reach tachyon, right? So they're going up. So you can't go from physical to reach tachyon through energy. It's not possible. So what we've discovered is the way to go from physical straight to tachyon, and then we go down. So we go to the tachyon particle first, and then we go into energy, and then we go into the physical. So we create change at a higher level beyond anything that you would have ever seen, to be honest. So now imagine being able to harness an energy that is completely different laws to be able to create rapid and drastic change in this reality. That is what we've been able to do successfully now for over 200 clients. This is not some party trick or something you see on a magic show. This is instant and permanent change, where we use a particle that does not obey our laws and use it to change our lives instantly and permanently. No more having to do daily routines or anything like that. A complete transformation that can accelerate you to anything you want in life. I did it once and now have a permanent power to create a life of my dreams, which is how I live now. So now you understand a bit about tachyon. Now how I came across it is totally by chance. The tachyon team I work with now were clients of mine at first. After I achieved some success and been able to sell my old business, I started helping people with marketing. But I didn't want to do it in the same way. I didn't want to spend all that time grinding. I wanted to work with less effort, right? And I thought there must be an easier way to do things. So as it happens, I came across these guys who had an amazing offer, which I didn't really understand. I just knew it was new and it excited me. So they became clients and I started helping them market and sell their offer properly. So this is Paul. He's half French and half Italian, was born in France from humble beginnings. His father was actually into energy coaching, so Paul grew up in this environment. And by a young age, Paul was exceptional at doing deep work, and over the years, after much trial and tribulation, he managed to reach the tachyon and develop a system that allows others to harness its power. So Paul showed me that he had a lot of success, mostly by referrals, selling it to French people. But had no idea how to get this to the English market. So it was only after a few weeks I asked, so what is it? Explain it to me. Little did I know that when he did, it touched me so deeply that I immediately said, forget marketing, I need to sell this. But first, I had to try it and see if it was real. So he sells it as a 3-day workshop, right? So this is what we sell it as. It's a group workshop with 10 to 15 people in each one. So he makes it this way because he said it's a very personal experience, and I know that as well. Not a lot of people can be in it at a time, so I dived in, guys. Lucky for me, because we were working together, he cut the workshop to 2 days and done it from just me and my girlfriend, so we had a personal experience, but it's the same structure. He cut it down so we could experience it because there was just 2 of us and it only needed 2 days. This is how my journey went. So this is my journey with Tachyon, guys. Firstly, to be able to have this sort of power, it's not for everyone. In fact, most people who see this won't understand it or think it's BS because they're just trying to use their logical mind too much. That's fine. They're just not ready yet. First, you have to be able to accept that there's something that exists outside the world that we know, another energy. So once I accepted this, I was ready. Accepting this alone gives you another dimension to your awareness and understanding automatically. Like, it's weird, proper weird. Before the workshop, my girlfriend actually got ill with COVID. So we were going to give it a miss, but his team reassured us that people sometimes get sick before the workshop. So due to the fact that, believe it or not, our bodies subconsciously resistant to this kind of drastic change, so we did it anyway. And even though she had COVID, we decided to continue with it. Now the workshop is broken down into 3 main sections or things you'll discover. Number 1 is how to remove all limiting beliefs instantly and permanently. Number 2 is how to reclaim your fire, the thing that drives you to any goal relentlessly. And number 3 is how to connect and integrate the tachyon particle so that your internal and energetic power is now beyond anything in this world. These are broken up into 3 days, but as I say, for us it was 2 days, and this is how it went. So firstly, there's a discussion that goes on, and loads of these discussions are going on throughout the whole of the workshop, right? So it goes into how our mind works and how we find out what is stopping us, basically. When we then learn how to connect instantly with our highest version of ourselves and understand how to communicate with it. This gives us insight into what limits we have. Once we've identified the limits, Powell gives us proprietary techniques that completely remove all limits we have instantly, and you notice a change. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. For me, I had blocks, and when I say blocks, I mean blocks, guys. Every day I'd wake up with some sort of pain in my body, or I'd feel moody. Unless I'd done these habits, the ones I spoke about before, that the mindset people were giving me, these things would remain and bother me all day. Now on the first day, I was able to remove all the blocks I've been trying to remove over the past 6 years. Doing meditations, yoga, physio, none of that worked. So in less than a day, I removed all of them. I was in shock, to say the least. We then went into what is the conscious and subconscious and how to live from our true selves all the time. We proceeded to have our first connection with the tachyon particle. Powell used other proprietary techniques that allowed us to connect, but was limited as we're not yet able to integrate all of the tachyon energy. The reason for this is because we needed to rest after clearing all of our blocks. On the second day, we discovered that tachyon is actually what the tachyon is and how we're able to harness this energy. We discovered the laws of tachyon and how to use it in this world. We then connected with our fire. So this is the strong burning flame inside us, and it allows us to move past any obstacle and never quit. After more discussions and understandings, we connected fully with the tachyon particle. We're able to use this instant technique Powell gave us to permanently integrate this energy into our lives, and it was a complete rebirth, guys. Imagine a life without fear, a life without... You're going to have challenges, but the challenges, you don't see them as challenges. It's like a game for you. I felt and sensed another energy that was now a part of me. I now have no blocks, no limits, and have the fire to achieve anything. I also have a power that exists beyond this world and I can use. It's not to say that I won't have any challenges in my life, but the challenges are no longer challenges. I can move through them easily and quickly, understanding what the right decision is for me. This power is with this power, I've now been able to surpass 100k per month easily in my business, live the life of my dreams, and this is just the start. My goal is to get this in the hands as many people as possible,